Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ugh. Is it too bright? Not really. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's not that bright. That is good. Da, 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 da. Made in 1869. For real, Canada? That's when you were made, yo? That's when you were made, yo? Copy link. Oh my, I wish let me see. Let me see. Oh, good. I'm going here. So I can do all of this right now. Copy. Hey, let me tell you, YouTube is boss, eh? Nice. Yes. Conversation. Okay, whatever. I'm doing a conversation. That's it. Hello, hi. Thanks for coming in. Like the stream as soon as you get in. Okay, like and share it out. We're having a discussion today, and as you can see, there's a trigger warning. So for anyone who's sensitive to this topic, as myself, just like to let you guys know. One sec, let me see. Okay, enter, come. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So, okay. So, copy. And we're gonna send it off. Okay, it's okay. Oh, there we go. Wait, no. I'm supposed to do this from today, from earlier. My head spinning and looking, see who's coming. Makina. Hi, welcome. Who's here? Welcome. Like the stream as soon as you come in and share it out. We're just waiting for the others to come in so we could start, guys. But thank you for showing up. Give them a few more minutes. Let's chit chat in the comment section if you wish. How you guys? I don't know who is here, so only way of knowing is if you leave a comment in the comment section. All right. I'm just sharing it out a little bit, letting others know. I'm going to, let me see. Did I send it in my WhatsApp group? Let me see if I did, because maybe that's why. Oh, yes, I did. Thought that's why no one's not really here as yet. Everyone's busy, I think. Like I said, we'll give them a few more minutes, y'all. You know, black people, most of them are black people, so you know, we late buggers, right? Let me just share it out on my page. Wagwan. I don't know if you could see well, but can you see? I got my face done. I got not my whole face, but I have my eyes done. My daughter give me eyes. Is it like glaring too much? I got eyes now. I got eyes. Can you see how perfectly shaped they are? You see a little white thing under? I knew I needed a mini-me. I knew I needed my own little mini-me. I knew I needed my little mini-me. God bless me with a mini-me. Woohoo! I'm so excited. What I can't do for myself, my little mini-me has perfected the art of making over our faces. Not like she needs it. I just saw her today earlier and I'm like, whoa, your eyelashes are so long, mama. And I'm like, you don't even need fake lashes. Don't you know that you don't need fake lashes? And she goes, I like them. And I'm like, but you don't need them. Her own lashes are as long as the fake lashes I see out there. Look, can you even see that I have any lashes? No. All the mascara she said she put on. Look, tell me if you see any lashes. You still can't see no lashes. And yeah, she kind of shaped up the eyebrow. Is the light glaring too much on it? So it's kind of hard to see? Let me know. Right? Doesn't it look nice and done up? Yeah. She shaped my eyebrow a little, so. Girl feel beautiful and all these things. Girl feel beautiful, my sister. I'm trying to call these other late buggers in. What you do to your eyes. Nothing really. Can you see it a bit? Can you? She just did some shaping up. She was plucking it. She was plucking it at the ends to shape the end to make it look long, whatever. And every pluck she pluck felt like I got a joke of something. Like my skin was being ripped off. Hey, mommy, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Mom. Stop this big eye in the camera. I thought it was just her dad that had big eyes. But I'm starting to realize, yeah, I got some big eyes too. And my mom got big eyes. I got the seductive eyes. I got some seductive eyes, I could speak with my eyes, My eyes speak another language of its own, Yeah. Imagine me trying to go up there and look and seduce someone. Huh? Probably like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this person here? What's wrong with this girl? Is something wrong with your eyes? What's wrong with this crazy girl? Something wrong with your eyes, yo? Where you get them from? I got them from my mama. I got it 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 from my mama. Some people they think that them alone have seductive big eye, babe. Them name Daisy or babe. Now I don't talk. Woohoo! Wait give me a second. Okay, that's one. That's done. Let me get it on some other pages. Where me get it from? Where me get it from? You're right to know about where me get it from. Now you, Miss Joy, Miss Big Eye Joy. You have a right for ask where me get it from. Trust me, I love everything when I have. Not gonna lie, even the big cheeks them. Even the big cheeks them. Yeah. It make me feel like me young still. It bring a little innocence to my feature. You know what I mean? When I was younger, Them would try to make me feel bad about it, call me bulldog and everything. Yeah, jealousy, hateful people would try to make me feel bad about it. But I learned to love myself. Uh-huh. Papa. Watch it. Why this? Sure. So I learned to love myself. So we're going to get into it very shortly. One more second and we'll get into it. But we've made it to another Friday. Ain't God good, guys? Trust me, God is good. Too good. Too good. God is more than good. Man, I'm so elated. He loves me so much. Huh? Think you're right. What am I right with, Mom? What am I right with? With the big eyes? Of course it's you, Mom. You don't see the piece of eyes them where you have on you? The piece of eyes. You don't see the pair of eyes them that you have on you? Huh? And it passed down to all your children. All my children. Yes, it passed down to all your children. Glory to God. God is good. Thankful. I'm thankful. It looks so, eh? Only him that get it. The girls them get it though. The girls them get it. Your daughter them come like splitting image of you, Mom. It looks so, you know. Your daughters them, eh? They get the splitting image of you. There's more of you in your daughters than their fathers. That's something to think about, eh? A lie? All the time he's good. All the time he's good, sis. All the time he's good. And we're just gonna jump into this. We're just gonna jump into this. How's you guys' week been though? What's been going on? If you can. Boy, them tea you can't cool fast. Jeez. Greedy, you and your sister greedy make una get it. She lucky she get none. Now the way of me greedy. Is that me don't want to take away everything, the cheek them especially. Mm-hmm. Huh? Yeah. So let's get into it. Welcome to another live. We made it to another Friday. Glory to God. Thank God. God is good. Right? Today our topic, I'm telling you, it's not a fun one. It's not one that's fun. I'm not lying. Mom, I can't deal with you, you know? Can't deal with you at all. Join me on YouTube now, guys. YouTube Live. Let's chat. We're speaking about serial pedophile. And I'll be playing a voice recording for you to hear an interview right now. Me on YouTube now, guys. Ooh, I had to turn that down. That was too loud. Like, why the media so loud, man? I'm not lying. You're something else, Miss Joy. I know you're not lying. So, like I said, let's get into it. My sister sent me a recording yesterday, I think. Yeah, and to tell you the truth, I wasn't sure what I was going to speak about today. I would have just figured it out. Sometime yesterday I would have tried to think about it, or even today sometime, but it's God. She's God sent, because God just sent her and directed her to send me this recording. But first she gave me a little warning, and I just decided that yes, let me put a warning as well on the live and the posting about this, because it is triggering. And it was very thoughtful of her to say, not trying to stir up anything, because conversations and stories of these stirs up, trigger, as it says, a trigger. It roots up something from within you. Either it's good or bad, of a past memory, and I just wanted to warn all those who are coming in to this live to, caution yourself about the things that you're going to be hearing on this recording. So our title today, our topic, you see, it's serial pedophile. And I say serial because it's not one occurrence. And most pedophiles, they don't just offend one time. You big eyes, you don't see for we, and oh my goodness, I don't know where him get theme one from. I just feel like he just tear it out automatically, but that's another story. Right? Yeah, like I was saying, they don't usually offend just one time, or have just one victim, or even with the victim, they don't just prey on the victim or affect the victim once. It's a predator prey. So they constantly go after their victims, and they also find new victims. And when left unattended to their issues, they do whatever they can to keep their secret a secret, so that no one else could know about it. And this recording, we're going to listen to a young lady, an interview that was done with her. I don't know who the person was, the gentleman that was interviewing her. Like I said, my sister sent it to me. But it's about her story growing up with abuse from her father. Her father, who raped his stepdaughter, which is in turn her mother, and got her pregnant. So a man and a woman was together. The woman had children, and the man that the woman is with raped her children, raped her child. So, and the child got pregnant and brought forth this young lady who is his daughter, who he also in turn later on raped as well. So she grew up being abused physically and sexually, and she's a child abuse survivor, sexual abuse survivor, and a rape survivor. So I'm just gonna get the recording and get right into it for you guys to listen. And while you're listening, I'm gonna be eating my pancakes and eggs that I asked my children to make, and Raheem volunteered, because I'm a late bugger more time, and I get up late at times, and sometimes I get up because I've been up from this morning. I got up, I set Rael off to school. is online. He has the thing in his room, and I just stay laying down because I do have talk about triggers and talk about post-traumatic stress and all that. I still have a hard time going to bed at nights, but when I do go to sleep, I'm okay, and I get up when I can. I set alarms to wake up, you know, Rael for school and whatever, and periodically he'll either come in the room or I'll get up or I'll listen out, or but his big brother helps him out a whole lot, and I'm so thankful for that. And now that I'm home, it's been very helpful, because when I used to work, it was stressful, but thank God for Jesus. You know, he makes a way. So let's get right into the voice recording, right? For you guys to hear. And let me know if you guys are hearing it.
The story you're about to hear contains sensitive information about the sexual assault and abuse of a minor. So please,
How is it? Are you guys hearing well? How's that sound? Was that good? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Just send me a message saying yes, you're hearing fine or whatever. I'm going to play it now, though, because it seems like everyone is doing well and you guys are hearing.
A minor. So please, listeners, as it were, discretion is advised. Now, a young Jamaican woman who was sexually abused by her father believes the justice system has failed her. We have chosen to call her Shirley to protect her identity. Last week, the Court of Appeal allowed for a reduced sentence to her father's sentence from life to 15 years in prison at hard labor for incest. Shirley, who the man was convicted of assaulting in 2015, is the child of his stepdaughter, whom he also impregnated. She spoke earlier today with Cliff. Man who raped his daughter and her daughter, his stepdaughter and her daughter. And this morning, we were contacted to hear the story of one of the ladies involved. Yes, I will not call her name. I'll call her Shirley. Yes. Good morning, Shirley. Is it okay to call you Shirley? Huh? Yes, I don't want. It's already traumatic. Yes. We don't need to reveal your identity. But tell me about what has happened, which has landed us at this place where you are again being traumatized.
Okay, so what has happened that landed us here was the fact that I woke up on Tuesday morning. So the news in the Observer that this man, his case was cut. His sentence was cut. Now the thing is,
his life sentence.
His life sentence was cut, right? They didn't mention my name or anything, but I read the entire story and I knew it was me. Mm-hmm. So he was sentenced in 2015 to life because he had raped me. And this has been an ongoing thing because he also raped my mother and her twin sister. They both gave birth to daughters around the same time. And then he later raped me at the same age, which he raped them.
What age was that?
Go ahead.
What age was that?
I was about 12, 13 years old.
And he raped your mom and your aunt at that age as well?
Correct. They gave birth at about 14. They both had daughters.
And they both had daughters in pretty close proximity to each other, but that's around the same time?
Like literally 15 days apart.
15 days apart? 2 weeks?
In the same year. Same month, everything.
Oh. And as I understand it, your mom was his stepdaughter?
Correct. They were both his stepdaughter. He was my grandmother's common law husband at the time when he raped them.
Mm-hmm. And what happened after that? Was he ever charged for that?
When it comes to that case, I'm gonna talk based on what I heard that happened. So the case went to court, but it was thrown out because my grandmother didn't want it to go after because they are scared of him. They are scared of him. I mean, I would have experienced life with him for myself, so I know that he can be very terrible. He can be, he can really harm you based on my own experience. So they said that it was thrown out because they were scared and they didn't go. That really hurt me because, to be honest, I'm like, somebody should have pushed. Somebody should have really pushed. Whether or not this man is harmful, somebody should have really pushed. But that is already gone, and then I know my situation, and I have to push.
So he was physically violent towards him?
Could you see that?
Was he physically violent towards him? To your mom and aunt?
Based on what I know, that's what I was told. In terms of me, I definitely know that, yes, he was. There was even a time when he held a cutlass up my neck. Like when he box you, like, Jamaican people say it's a teeny wally. Teeny wally. Literally.
So you knew how violent he could get?
Correct.
Right. So they didn't do anything, right?
Right.
Then you came along, he impregnated your mom and her twin sister, who were his stepdaughters.
Correct.
Right? And then you came along, and what was your experience with him?
So, at first when I went to live with him, I was skeptical, to be honest, because I would have heard what he did to my mom and my aunt.
But how did you get to go live with him?
So my mom was going overseas because my mom is not Jamaican. She's Bahamian. She was going back to the Bahamas, and she sent me to live with him. And to be honest with you, I still question that. But that was that. And I went to live with him. That was the first time I ever met him in my entire existence.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to live with him. When I just went to live with him, he sent me to live with his mom. He brought me to his mom's house. Then there was this day, I had cleaned the steps. My cousin didn't know that I cleaned the steps, but she was sweeping the whole thing outside, so she just cleaned the steps as well. And he came in the yard at the same time and he started cutting and all type of stuff. And in terms of pack up my stuff and leave. But little did I know that this was leading to exactly where he wanted to go. And when I just went here, it made me feel like everything was okay. Because that's how your predators make you feel like it's really okay and it's really not. Then he moved me from there, and he brought me to his brother at the bottom of the community. And then he came another day and he had an argument with his brother's wife. And then,
sorry about that.
Wife. And then he picked me up and turned me to the home. And that's where it all started.
Which house he carried you to?
Hut. A hut on a farm where you rent food or something that you shall find on
Yes. Yes.
Right, that's where he took me to live with him. And we lived in the hut, and that's where it started. At first, he was rubbing his genitals between my thighs. That's how it started. And I remember the first night, and while he was coming over me, while he was coming onto me, I kept pulling off the bed because I was towards the front of the bed. And when I got up off the bed and actually stood up, he got upset and then he asked me to come back and lay down. And the reason I got up, I felt really uncomfortable. And that was from where he started rubbing his genitals between my thighs. But before that, before he had moved me from his mom, there was something that would have sparked something in my head when I went to follow my cousins to pick up lunch money from her dad. They were both living at the same place. And he turned to me and said that I should lay down on him. He was at the bed. So even though I followed my cousin, I went in there to call to him because out of courtesy, I am here. I know that my dad is there. I went to call to him. And he said that I should lay down on top of him. And I was hesitant. And he persisted until I did. Okay, I'm not thinking anything of it at that point because he didn't put any words in there or anything. Then he turned to me and he said, you don't know, so when you come down here, you must stay with me. So I said, no, which was the truth. So from the moment he had asked me to lay down on top of it, that kind of, the reason why I hesitated was because my antennas were already up.
Yes. So
when we went to the auto, was when he...
And by this time you would have been what age?
When I was there, I went into grade 7. I probably reached grade 8 because I are going into grade 8, one or the other. Because when I was there, it was April, and I went into grade 7, continued. So I think I probably reached grade 8.
And then you tried to avoid it.
So at the hut,
yes.
Was when he started. He later moved from the hut, and we went to live in a structure. And as I told the court, I will always call it a structure because it wasn't the house. The roof leak, the windows are absent, party non-existent. And I remember on Saturday, I was sitting there, his sister was there, I was sitting at the back step, and he said to me, while his sister was there, he turned to me and he said, he has to get started everything, And I had this puzzled look on my face, but it was after his sister left that he explained to me that, everything, that's where I think so. And his memory serves me well, I was probably around 13 at that time. And he was buying sex when I went there to live. And he was buying sex up to that point as well. And he said to me that in order for me to go to school, he had to stop buying sex so I could get the money. And in that moment, I wondered, am I now the prostitute? Am I now going to
Hold on. You lost me there. He started buying sex from you?
He was buying sex up to that point. Then he said to me on the Saturday after he was explaining that in order for me to go to school, he's going to have to stop buying sex so I can get the money.
Oh, he was buying sex from some other person.
Correct.
And then also what he was telling you now, had to give him sex to get the money.
Exactly. So in that moment, I felt like a prostitute because how are you going to look at your teenage daughter and say that in order for you to go to school, I'm going to have to get the sex from you and give you the money?
Did you tell the court this?
Yes, I did. I told them everything.
Yes. So you got pregnant shortly thereafter?
No, I got pregnant at 18.
18?
Yeah, I had finished school and everything, while I was going to court, I was going to school, everything at the same point.
So when did you take him to court?
So I reported the incident to my guidance counselor. He was sentenced in 2015, so it was probably about 2014 because the court went on for quite some time. So it was about 2013 or 2014, one of those times.
Yes.
Don't quote me on it, I don't remember the exact year. But I did report it to my guidance counselor and she brought me to Sissoko. And that's when it was reported because she had brought me to Sissoko before, because persons would have reported that they suspected that was happening. But when she brought me to Sissoko, I was scared because remember my life was threatened at all. And so even though I was sitting there and you were asking me the questions, I kept saying no. I kept saying no, nothing is happening, I'm fine, I'm okay. And they brought me home, which I did get a fine beaten for that day, even though she told him that she was just assisting me with homework. But when she brought me to the Soka the final time,
hold on, Shirley. We're gonna take a break and come back. But you said you got a fine beaten after you denied that he wasn't molesting you. He still beat you.
Yes, because he thought that I told her something.
Her being your guidance counselor.
Right.
Hold on for me, Shirley. Shirley?
I'm so help you.
Yeah, so you're in your early 20s now, right? And you were at the point of saying that you got a fine beaten. But there's a question that is haunting me. Where was your mother in all of this? Did you tell your mother what was happening to you when she returned to the Bahamas and left you in the custody of this man who she would have known raped her as his stepdaughter? Did you tell her what was happening to you?
I don't know. I didn't know when she came back, to be honest with you. We didn't speak much while she was away. When she spoke, I don't have to speak any at all. When she called me was when the day that when I actually got there, she called his phone on a private number.
Got where?
And
when I
got to Clarendon.
And
I'm living from Midstead, that's where she lived.
When you had got to the house with this man?
Right. So she called his phone. I guess she timed me. She called his phone and he said, it was a private number. He said, your mother did answer. That was his exact word. And he gave me the phone and I said, hello. And just as I said hello, she hung up. So I don't know if hearing my voice meant okay to reach, she can just go on. Now, I don't know what was going through her mind, to be honest. We never had that mother-daughter relationship. I think every time she looked at me, there was something that was unexplainable to me, because in my head I kept saying, I look exactly like this woman. I don't look any at all like the man. I look exactly like her. So we never had that relationship. So,
and still don't have that relationship?
Well, she died, and to the point of death, we didn't.
When did she die?
In 2017.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she knew of the outcome of the case before she died.
Because she was the one who she was there with me throughout the case. She was the only one there with me throughout the case. She was there for every hearing and everything and all of that. Her husband, though, because she was married, her husband, he did call me, from time to time. He was trying to ask me if anything like that was happening, but I couldn't answer, because every time he called, the man would be there sitting listening. So, I live alone with this man and trying not to die, because at this moment it's survival. So I couldn't say anything. So I just kind of shut it off if he hints anything, like asking me if that is happening.
The voice there of a young woman we're calling Shirley, being interviewed by Cliff. The story is hard to listen to. Of course, he was convicted, her father that is, and he was given a harsh sentence. Not the conviction, but the sentence was appealed. And it was lessened. It has triggered quite some debate in the country with regards to how we treat with these matters. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll hear more from Shirley. Thank you so very much for staying with us, listeners. We're playing for you this story of a young woman who has endured hell. Yes, she was raped, sexually assaulted, sexually abused by her own father. According to the story, she is relating to us a matter that was adjudicated upon in the courts. her father raped her mom while she was at the age of 12. And he also raped her sister at that age as well. Sexually assaulted the mom's sister, yes. He raped, her mom became pregnant, had her, and he also sexually assaulted and abused her as well. He got her pregnant at the age of 18, she says. He was given a very harsh sentence by the court. It was that sentence, not the conviction, but the sentence was appealed, and the Court of Appeal overturned the sentence. It has triggered yet again raging debate in the public space about how we treat with these matters. So the story you are going to continue to hear from the young woman we're calling Shirley. It does contain sensitive information, listeners, viewers on YouTube. So listeners' discretion is advised.
So, at what point did you muster, summon the courage to say, yes, he was raping me, he was abusing me?
There was this morning. One morning I was getting ready for school. At that point, we had moved from the structure and we moved up to the chicken coop by his mother's house.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff was in the chicken coop. That was where we lived. And I was outside showering, outside bathroom, country and stuff like that. And my phone was inside. And there's something that the lady says when you dial 123. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but there's something like that that she says. And you heard when that came on, but then he calls out to me and he says, "Why are you not bathing?" But I'm responding to him, and you can hear that I'm responding from the bathroom because the bathroom is outside. So you can hear that the phone and I are in two different places. But when I came out of the bathroom now, he split a piece of bamboo in two. And that day when I was going to school, I couldn't sit down. There were like bamboo sparks in my skin and stuff like that. And when I went to school, I managed to stick it through the bullshot. There was tears in my eyes. I was extremely devastated. And I remember I said to my guidance counselor, "I need to speak to you after devotion." And as devotion finished, I didn't even go to class. I went straight to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "This is what's happening. This is it. This is that." I think at that point, my cup was just over. I had wheels and everything. It was just over.
So by this time you were in what grade?
It was between 8 and 9. Because when I went to the other school, I think I went there in grade 9. So it was between 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly 9.
Yeah.
And that was like my last straw. I remember I told her, "I don't know what's going to happen." It was like, if I die, I die in that moment. Because I couldn't take anymore. I spent every day in sadness. I got to school and school over. If I remember when I was 3:30, you have to be home in the next 15 minutes. I don't have a problem coming home from school. But it's like every time school is going to end, you start reliving the trauma that I'm going to go home to somebody who is going to abuse me. I'm going to go home and at 13 years old, I have to be a woman because I have to wash for this man, cook for this man, clean for this man, plus carry water because running water country is not so much of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to carry water before I come back from bush. If I have clothes to wash out for him, I wash it out. In dinner, I have to be ready for come from bush. It's like, I don't even know how to get it.
So you told your guidance counselor, finally told her what was happening. What did they do?
Yeah.
What kind of help you got?
So he brought me to Soka at the same point. She did, and when she brought me there, it was in Nathan. I think it was the Frank police station that they sent for him because he had a cousin. I think she was his cousin who was a part of the force, and she lived next door.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was the one who they sent to pick him up.
Yes.
After I finished the talk, I went back to the station. So I'm not sure how the whole pickup go, but he was there. I ended up sleeping at the station the night because nobody came to pick me up. So I slept there. The police had to call in the morning and be really harsh. Nobody would come for me, you know. I don't know why everybody was running away from the whole thing, but they did come for me in the morning.
They who?
That my aunt came, not the aunt that was raped.
Yes.
My grandmother's bigger child, I think she's the biggest one.
Yes.
She came
Uh-huh.
and she picked me up and she brought me to my grandma's house.
Uh-huh.
They did send me back to the same school, but
Yes.
that never worked out. And so they had to change me and they sent me to a different school. And so I went back to live with my mom. Now, that relationship never lasted long because I ended up going to my grandma and not coming back. I wouldn't say run away. I went to my grandma at the market and I just decided that I was going back home and I went to the police station close by to the market.
Yes.
And so when they called her and everything and so on, they decided that they wouldn't send me back to her because she would just beat me really bad. Sometimes I don't know, as I said, it's like every time she sees me, if she relives the moment or what's happening.
So your mom had come back to Jamaica by then?
Correct. When I went to live with her, she was in Jamaica. I think she'd have came before that, but as I said, I don't know exactly when she came back.
So let's fast forward. So when did he now get a chance to rape you and impregnate you?
No, he wasn't the one who impregnated me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He raped my mom. I impregnated her.
Yes.
My mom was the stepdaughter and her sister. They were both the stepdaughter. I was the daughter.
Yes. Okay. So you went to court and you gave evidence.
Correct.
And how was that experience?
As in the experience in court?
Yes, in having to give evidence and to relate what happened. How was that?
For one, it made me scared because I kept thinking about my life and okay, what if nothing is done? Then okay, I'm gonna just be out here and then this man, might harm me or something. And then the major goal for me though was actually getting this man behind bar because the truth is I'm like, this thing come down the generational line and nobody before me did anything. I need to do something. He cannot just be going about like this. So I testified. I told him exactly everything that happened. Because, you don't know until you try. So I told him everything. I also mentioned my mom and my aunt's situation. My mom ended up telling her story. My aunt didn't, because my aunt still lives in Clarendon, and she was saying that she's fearful for her life. And so she didn't attend court regarding her side.
Yeah.
So it was just me and my mom.
So now when you hear that the Court of Appeal has reduced his sentence from life imprisonment to 15 years on the ground that the judge was in error in how she applied the sentencing guidelines, how does that make you feel?
That made me feel as if the system has failed me. Every day we get up and we say, end violence against women and our children. But are we really ending violence? Do we really want to end violence? Then there's a lot of thoughts running through my head because I know you did the name change for privacy purposes, but I've told my story before. I told my story last year for the first time. And there were a lot of people who have said to me, I went through the same thing. I have a cousin who their family, my dad and her family are like far-fetched family, but their family with the same name and everything. And she was raped by her uncle. And she texted me last night and she said, I won't bother to bring my case to court because I read what happened with you in the Lena, and it don't make no sense. And within myself, like, no, I felt like, why did I even want to report it in the first place? Because I was fighting for nothing. Because the system who was supposed to be standing behind me is not behind me. Even though they did their test and proved what was going on. Then the system is failing me, and the system is failing a lot of other young people. And a lot of people out there are being raped, not only girls, but our boys too. And when they see these things, they don't want to speak up because, somebody will got prison for 10, 12, 15 years and just come back out. And they probably rape somebody else. Then I'm thinking, this man, he said to me before he was sentenced that he called my phone one day and he said, "In Africa, kill me. In Africa, kill me one day." So what that means is that my life is on the line. My aunt's life is on the line, even though she didn't testify. My grandmother's life is on the line. I have a son. My son's life is on the line. There's a lot of people's life is on the line. And then there are also other girls I don't know who might suffer at the hands of him. And this is the Jamaica that we say we want to live and raise family in and do business. I don't want to raise family here because we're not doing enough to protect our children. And then we say our children are the future. And if I am fighting to put something to a lifelong generational curse, and the system that is supposed to be with me is failing me, it makes me not want to try, and it makes other young girls like me don't want to try because they believe now the system is also going to fail them.
But it's difficult, but there are guidelines set down that judges must follow in sentencing people convicted of crimes such as yours, right?
Right.
That is the law. Those are the guidelines that the judges are required to follow. What do you say to that? They are required to follow the guidelines. They're called the sentencing guidelines, which stipulate how they must approach it. And that was challenged at the Court of Appeal level, and the Court of Appeal applied it and said the judge who made the original decision was in error.
But let me ask you, Mr. Yu, I understand that there are guidelines and whatever, but wouldn't you say that these guidelines need to be reviewed?
May very well be, but it's not for the judges to review them. The judges have to follow them. It's now for the parliamentarians, the legislators, whose job it is to look at those guidelines over time.
In the paper, when I read the thing, it says that the highest sentence for that kind of scenario, for that kind of crime would have been life, but they didn't think that they should have started with life. So if the highest is life, it means that you can start with what is fit for it. And the truth is, this man has been going on and on and on. And it's no, like it's becoming, if you look at the pattern, it's like it's in him. And I don't know if it's in the family, because he had a cousin who went to jail for touching some young girl. And then that cousin that I'm telling about that I have, who her uncle took her, they're of the same family. So at this point, I don't know if it's in the family.
Yeah. Tough. How are you managing now? Do you have children now? Do you have children?
I have a son.
You have a son. How old is your son?
4.
Huh?
He's 4.
4 years old. Yes. And you're in a relationship with his father?
No.
But you're coping as a mother now.
But I'm coping as a mother, okay?
Right. Yeah. Are you in a vocation, a trade, a profession?
So currently, what I do is that I cook on Fridays, and I deliver to persons who buy. I left my job less than a month ago. I left my job because he was not working out the terms of my son, and I am working to break a generational curse, so I have to be very mindful of the things that I do. I'm ever absent because of the job. The times when I get in, I never have time for him or anything like that. And remember, I am the only parent. He doesn't know his dad. So no, I'm saying a job will fire me, but a child will never forget that I was absent. And I know what it's like firsthand because I never forget that night. My mom was not as present as I would have wanted her to be, and I never got that love and attention and care that I desired. And so I wouldn't want that for my son because I'm trying to raise a holistic individual for our society and not just another traumatized child who's just going through the motion. And so I left my job so I could be present with him in his life. So I'm starting out from scratch again, but I'm at the drawing board.
But I'm struck by what you said. You're working to break a generational curse. Yeah?
Correct. Because it's a curse if I look at it, because it's coming down in the line, I feel as if, so it's not even a feel. My mom never felt like her mom was present, and that is why that happened to her. And because of that, she never had a relationship with her mom up to the point of death. And it's the same way she never had a relationship with me up to the point of death.
Yes.
And then we realized that it might be an ongoing thing because my grandmom, the two really interfere mom either. So at this point, it's like it's coming down the line. It's really coming down the line, and somebody has to put a stop to it. Somebody has to bring it to a stop.
The story there of a young woman we're calling Shirley, and just to highlight this point that she said she got pregnant at 18, but not in fact by her father. Just to correct that, she made that clear towards the end of the interview. It must have been very difficult for you, Cliff.
We're going to end it there, right there with that recording. Guys, when I tell you about triggering, let's begin our discussion on this. You know why she's able to, Bella? The same way I'm able to right now. The same way I'm able to. I'm so glad you brought that up because that's the first thing I wanted to top on. What a smart and mindful young lady that is. Do you hear the strength in her? That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The reason why she's able to speak so strong right now is because she's found her purpose now to break. Did you hear that? Break the generational curse. Break it. If that is not powerful, I don't know what is. That was my reason for speaking out as well. And to come back and hear this young lady amongst so many others speak about it just goes to show the strength and the determination of the ones who are not saying it is okay. I'm no longer afraid of who is going to say anything about me, about what I've gone through. They are not going to victimize me anymore, any longer. She lives in a third world country. She does. She lives in Jamaica. She's from Jamaica. She's living in Jamaica right now. That's where the interview was done. And it doesn't matter anywhere, everywhere. It doesn't matter Europe, North America. You are judged, even when you are the victim. Yeah, she's in Jamaica. And I just find her very strong because these serial predators, pedophiles, they put the fear of God in you when they're preying on you. They use violence, threats to put fear in you, physical abuse. When this young lady spoke about seeing Peeny Wally, that's a little bug that flies at night, and you only see it when the tail lights up or when the butt lights up. And they're usually in the rural areas in Jamaica, the country we call it. At nighttime, you hear them before you see them. You hear beep, beep. They make a sound, like a certain sound that you know what it is that's making that sound. Only time you get to see them is when they blink a little. That box that she said she got boxed in her face, slapped. I remember those types of box. I used to get them regularly. It put the hate in me that once I took up a plant holder, and the way I hated my father, I used it and I just whammed him over his head with it. That's how much hate had been built up in me from all the abuse I'd gone through. Another thing, she mentioned about her mother leaving her in the care of this same pedophile who raped her and her sister and got both of them pregnant, having children months apart. She left her responsibility, left her child with the person that raped her to rape her child, and took herself away from the situation. She did not have the capability to show real emotion. I experienced that with my stepmom. That's what I experienced with her. No emotion at all. No, don't worry. No, don't worry, Bella. Don't worry. You're speaking from what you see, what you're getting from this. Don't feel bad about your observation. Speak freely. We don't judge over here, like that. We don't judge like that. Things like this, though, we speak about. Yeah, Mom, I hear what you're saying, but guess what? We're not who these individuals are. We're not who they are, so we're not going to do like them. We're shedding light on them and their behaviors and asking for change and asking for them to be accountable and asking for everyone who's involved to be accountable for their actions. But we're not going to turn like them and be as evil as they are. We're going to do exactly what this young lady is saying she's doing, breaking the generational curse. being involved in her child's life, not letting sight of her child go so that anyone could inflict the same pain and same traumas to our children. That's our job. That's what we do. We don't go after them, the perpetrators. We don't go after them. Because by doing that, we're becoming more victim. We're just sinking ourselves deeper and deeper by doing what they do or trying to get them back. We open up, we shed light on it. No more darkness. He wanted her to stay quiet while he quietly abused her, mentally abused her, emotionally, verbally, sexually, physically abuse her, financially abuse her. All of the abuse under the abuse umbrella. Bringing sex towards her, telling her that's her way, she has to pay her way of being taken care of by her own father. Putting fear in her. She'll get over that fear. Just like I got over that fear. You don't get over the trauma that much. It still stays with you. The memories, yeah. But I'm going to tell you, I got over that fear when I said enough was enough. And I'm not keeping anyone's secret. And I'm going to speak up loudly about it. I don't care who wants to distance themselves from me, who and their children wants to act as if I don't, I'm not, they're not associated with me. They could go to hell for all I care. God forgive me. I pray for them though, because I don't wish any bad for anyone. But that's just that's how strongly I feel about not caring what anyone has to say about me, who wants to associate with me, who wants to talk to me. I could care less, especially for the ones involved, the ones who were adults. Their children are just followers. So they can't even talk to me. But especially for the adults who wants to make it seem like you're doing something wrong because you're speaking about it, and you're speaking about it to the world, they already know what they could do with themselves. They have to talk to God. They can't talk to me. And it might seem like speaking about it, you're bitter. Yeah, because that's what they want to make you out as being. So I guess this young lady who's speaking about this now is bitter. She's bitter. Because that's what they would want to make me seem to be. I'm bitter because I'm speaking about it. I decided that I'm not going to be a victim any longer. She's decided she's not going to be a victim any longer. So I guess we're bitter because we're speaking up. Been there, Bella. Been there. Not talking is never the best way. Speaking from a personal experience, girl. Speaking about it is the best way. There is going to be consequences and repercussions like I'm speaking about right now when you speak about it. And it is going to be used against you. Yes. Been there, done that. All the time they do it. They try to use it and curse you, try to use it and tear you down. All I have to say is you're not what happens to you. No one asked for a sickness. No one asked to be affected, afflicted, hurt, being preyed upon. No one asked about it. Asked to be that. We were born in what we're born in. We experience what we experience because of the evil that is in the world. Don't let that stop you from speaking out. You don't have to come and speak out on social media, speak to any family or friends either, because you're right. A lot of people have used it against me, try to curse me about it. And the fact that I developed anxiety and depression from it, along with other evil that's happened in my life from being in relationships as well, they use anything against you. The devil will use anyone to try and make you feel worse about yourself from what you've experienced. So you just have to try your best to ignore those people, take yourself away from them, continue to elevate yourself, encourage yourself, tell yourself you are not what happened to you, and keep it moving. Spread love and love as much as you can with who you have, which is yourself. And if you have children, you can't control what others are going to do. No time. So let's not worry so much about what anyone has to say or what they're doing. They are not a part of you. You're only one person. You were born by yourself. You don't need much in this world, but you sure as heck need yourself, and you need God. So take care of you, yourself. Do whatever it is you have to do to empower you. Bring light and love out there in the world. Anyone who doesn't want it, you don't have to associate with them. I've learned that along the way. It wasn't like that earlier on because, yes, I'm human and I want to feel like I belong. And I thought that having people like me and having people around and sharing my story and, you know, they would understand me. People are evil. Man, the human race, you have good in it, but they are human and they could change just like that. The snap of your finger. 1 minute they love you, next minute they hate you. 1 minute they despise you, next minute they look up to you. 1 minute, same person that's raising you up is in a next tongue telling you how stupid you are. You're doing this and this person and that and that. Been there, done that. The only constant person is God. The only constant person is God that never changes. So if it's a human you're looking to never fail you, you're looking in the wrong place. Been there, done that, been failed many times. But what I want to know is, how can a mother disassociate herself so much from what has happened to her to even allow it to happen to her own child and not be involved or around or try to protect? I don't understand that. And look at that. You see, her mom died and she didn't get a chance to find that out. When I told my stepmother that her daughter died with her in her heart, this is the same thing that I was speaking about. This girl is now going through it where her mom died and she didn't get no answers at all. But yet I was evil for saying what I said. Yes, I said it in anger, but I meant it. It's the truth. When are we going to stop thinking about ourselves so much and think about others that we affect? I have to think about my children that have gone through mental illness because of what I've gone through. But thanks be to God, I'm still here with them. Thanks be to God, they could get answers from me. It could be worse. I couldn't stop what was going on because I didn't know when I started having children that this would be a part of what would happen. I always told myself I don't want any of my children to ever go through anything I've ever gone through. I couldn't stop all of it. I may have been able, and it wasn't saying me, it was God. I couldn't say prevent them from going through verbal abuse because when I get upset, I yell and I scream and I would say words too. Yeah. I spanked them when they were younger. The only one who hasn't really got spanking is the last one right now. Thank you so much, Bella. It's only the grace of God. But the main thing, I couldn't hold my temper for as much as I wanted to protect them from being around anger. But thanks be to God, He helped me to protect them against sexual abuse and being physically abused. Slapped in the face and all those stuff. Kicked. Yeah. And it is a generational curse. It is in the genes. When I spoke about that as well, the family members of my father, was upset with me, speaking up with themselves, not to me, because they are not going to come to me and say anything, but speaking behind my back amongst each other about it, as if I was lying, saying that it's not only him, it's also in his brothers. It's also in his father that passed, that had a child with one of his stepdaughters. But when you are the one speaking out, you become another victim. You become a bitter person. When you show distaste and disgust from what everyone has been covering up and hiding, you also become a victim. But I'm not no victim. I'm a victor. I'm not no victim. And this is what Shirley is doing. She's not a victim. She's overcoming what was placed on her to hold and keep her down. Generational curses need to be broken. And the judges, the parliamentary individuals that are making these laws. I remember my father getting arrested for on different times that I've heard. Nothing came about it. Nothing. Until he was able to affect 1, 2, 3, and God who knows how much more. No accountability. But I have no reason to be upset. I have no reason to speak out. I should just speak amongst you guys who want to keep it quiet and not do one damn about it. How much am I supposed to speak to y'all till what? My mouth, till my throat bleeds, till my ears, till everything bleeds? And y'all just sitting down smiling when we gathering and everyone just smiling. Yeah, so let's eat. Let's just eat and pretend everything is great. Until you hear that someone else is affected or what? Let's just all stay quiet. That's not what God is showing me, putting inside me. It needs to stop. And everyone has a part in it. It'll only diminish when everyone who's responsible to do something starts doing the right things about it from every different aspect. That's the only time it's gonna change. We probably can't eradicate it, but each one has to be dealt with. Send them go jail, send them go wherever. Something needs to be done. Just not sitting down and not doing anything at all. And having a generation of mentally ill individuals. And then when those individuals have mental illness, you want to curse them about their, she crazy, she man, like, oh, Father God, thank you, Jesus, for your saving grace. Thank you, Father God. Circle, just a circle, just a generational circle, curse, like, It's sad. It seems like the moms are never around in the homes that this is happening to. It's a mother and a father in the home, but the father is doing whatever, and where's the mom? Just submitting, still submitting, still submitting, still submitting to these disgusting men while their children are suffering. This girl went through hell. Her mother went through hell and knew what she went through, but she still found it in her heart to leave her child with the same person that raped her, who in turn, not just her, raped her and her sister. It was two stepchildren, you know. He raped both the stepchildren, and they both got pregnant, having children months apart. And then the child that he has with one, he raped that child. How disgusting is that? And brought fear in her. Pure threat, cutlass, whatever you call it. And then you hear, it's like, I heard in it something about Clarendon. It's like country. I don't know if it really matters, but is it an ancestral, or I don't even know what to call it, thing growing in the dirt in Clarendon? A predator, a pedophile, an adult who has sexual feelings for children. And then when you guys see these big older men liking off these young teenage children, everyone is being hush-hush. Even so, big 48-year-old men, 40 years, over 40 and stuff, dealing with teenage girls, 17, 18, that is still disgusting. The last straw was this girl running away. No, not staying here no more. Straight to her guidance counselor. And these abusers, these pedophiles, still demand respect from the ones they're abusing and from others. They want to be held so highly in society. Real wicked, mom. Real wicked. Evil. When she spoke about not wanting to go home in fear of what's going to happen, I didn't even want to go to my bed at nights. I stayed up in the chair watching TV till the TV is watching me, scared of going into my bed to sleep, out of fear what I'm going to be awoken to see who is in my room. And then no one wants to be a part of it. When you start speaking, no one wants to be a part of anything. No one wants to be around you. No one wants to be around you. No one wants to be around you. Why is she out there talking about this? Why is she out there why is she telling people her business? I'm serving God now, so I wouldn't really say what I really want to say to some of them. Yeah? I'm not going to really say right now they all know. I think it's right that they all took themselves away from me, because the bitterness and the hate that was in me, though, not from what I've gone through, but just from people who know nothing about what you've gone through, what you've experienced, speaking on your behalf, making mention of you as if they know you or what you go through, or the battles that you face. That's the only thing I'm bitter about. And I was bitter about. So I used to be very angry speaking about it, Bella. You remember you said how she could speak about it so calm? Yeah. I would speak very strongly about it and the individuals involved. Just because of the shame that they brought on my life. Yeah. But I no longer feel like a victim, like I said, anymore. I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. Because victory belongs to God. And I had to experience this in order to speak about it with the strength that I have now. If I didn't go through it and go through the stages, I wouldn't be able to speak on it. So God didn't put it on me, but he used what I went through to help me to speak to others about it and to show the effects it has on others. Right? Exactly. You're so right. Right? That's so true. Sometimes they don't even have to have money. It's the fear that they put in others, what they could do physically, and not be held accountable for it. Pedophiles, predators, evil continues to go on when they know and feel like they can never be made accountable for it. No one will ever know. They won't be caught. It gives them that strength, that power to feel like they could do whatever they feel like doing when it's kept quiet, because everyone is fearful of them. Oh, I'm not going to say nothing. I don't want him to come back and get upset at me. I don't want him to curse me out. I don't want him to hurt me. I don't want him to chop me with a machete. I don't want him to shoot me. I don't want him to. And if they have money, I don't want him to pay someone to hurt me. I don't want him to pay someone to kill me. I don't want him to pay someone to stop me from accomplishing what I want. Yeah, I understand that. How do we stop that? Trusting in God and stop thinking about ourselves so much. Stop being fearful. And we can't do it by ourselves, but each person collectively, if one person does one, all together, we could tear them down. We have to stop being afraid of speaking out. Stop worrying about what others associated with them or what anyone is going to say about it. I had to basically say, go to hell to anyone who wants to try and tear me down about my experience. And I was telling a lot of people exactly that, go to hell, a few years ago, especially 2019 when I was just barking at everyone. Har, 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 har. Go to hell. Har, 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 har. Back to the pit of hell. Har, har. That's all I was doing. I was wasting out a lot of my energy doing that. I was very angry, yeah, very angry. Not just about what I'm going through, but about the backlash I was getting and how people were trying to use it. So I do understand. But thank God for Jesus, you know? He opened up my eyes and, yeah, show me that I could depend on him and he'll make a way. And I don't have to go through it angry and upset and making myself more sick. Not even just with this, even with my mother-in-law. I was going off about her evil. That's another topic. But they're predators as well. You know? Yeah. Pedophiles as well. They're pedophiles. Wanting young children and younger, you know? Disgusting. That's so true. It's only the grace of God. It's only the grace of God, Bella. Trust me. It's nothing about me per se. If it was left for me alone, I would crumble and fall. It's his divine intervention into my life. Because like I said, 2 years ago, I was in the hospital in 2019 for 2 weeks, battling with the crisis and with what I'm going through, what I've gone through over the years. How many different attacks, both from growing up young as a child to teenager to adult to having my own children to the interaction with the mother of my children's father, like spiritual wickedness. It's a lot. I've gone through a whole lot. Speaking up about it, sharing it here on social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, getting backlash from that. In-laws, you know, they're my children's father's brother, his baby mothers, them trying to gang up on me, try to throw all these things in my face, about all sorts of different things. You name it, they've come at me. But thanks be to God. He's given me the strength. It's not my own. Trust me. I don't know what I would do on my own. But I had to trust in him. I learned. Glory to God. And this is what I was singing today. And I did a live on Facebook earlier today, and that's what I was speaking about. I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God through it all. That song just came to me today. I don't remember where I heard it from. I listened back to my evangelist spiritual breakfast that I listen to every morning or day, afternoon, whenever I get a chance to. And I didn't hear it from there because I'm like, was it there that I heard that song? But all day today, that's all I was hearing. And I started singing it through it all. If you type those words in YouTube, it'll bring up the song. I don't know who originated it and sung it. I think it's Jimmy Swaggart. If you guys know Jimmy Swaggart, type it up. But it's true. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. See, this is my gift. This is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me going. Him and his siblings, as bad as they are, let them stress me. He's not bad, but I'm just saying, as you know, as rough as it gets, yeah, they're not bad. I'm not lying. The only one that gives really a hard time and with the mouth and arguing is the second one, and still he's not that bad either. Yeah.
He's downstairs.
Could be worse. But
he's really under where we are.
Yeah. What you smell like? You smell good. Like, what? Who are you rubbing up on? In Raheem's room?
No.
What, Rayshad? Where you get perfume from?
I didn't get I think it was from Raheem. I think Raheem perfume.
Yes, my papa. I'm gonna have to comb his hair this week. Are you allowed to show your nakedness on YouTube? Go. Yeah, that's the wash belly right there. Thank you. Oh, they drive me up the wall sometimes, girl. But yeah, I'm blessed and highly favored. God protect you and your children from evil people. Thank you so much. I need it. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. We have to cover ourselves. We have to put on the whole armor of God. We have to put on his whole armor. The helmet of salvation, the peace that surpass all understanding. Oh, oh my gosh, I can't remember it all. Go watch one of my lives that I did a few weeks ago about the 6 armors, to cover yourself, using God's armor to cover you, from all that's going on in this world and to help you through. But thank you guys so much. I'm going to end it here. We're already here an hour and so on in the live. I'm so thankful, and I hope that this helps anyone who's going through the same thing. I don't try to stay on this topic too much because, like I said, it's triggering, and being gone through similar. I wasn't raped. I was not raped, but I was sexually abused. Right? Yeah. And if you check out some of my videos, you'll see it. Some of the videos dealing with my anxiety and depression, something like that. I don't remember the exact video that I speak about it more in detail. And also another video that I did, let me tell you, where I speak about it some more. Sweet piece of history that you'll hear me talk about a little bit about it. And even with my mother-in-law and spiritual wickedness, why them love Obia so, and other things, other videos I've done on it. So I've spoken a bit about this, the evil and stuff, and I want to speak about anything, why them love Obia so. That's one of the other that I talk about, my experience with that. My struggles with depression. I've spoken about my life experience growing up and not growing up with my mother, and then being put all over the place, just brought here, there, and then back to my father and his wife, my stepmom, and a lot of stuff, and how I got my scars, right? This is how I got my scars. We'll speak about the effects of my crisis that I've gone through in 2019 that had me messing up my skin because of all the pain and hurt that was inside. So when I got like rashes and stuff on my skin, I would irritate them, and then so yeah, gone through a lot, been through the fire. And if the burns mean anything, God is like, just like when a diamond goes through the fire and it has to be, it's super heated up, like they have to put fire to it, and then when it's done molded and shaped, it comes into a nice gem. That's basically what God is doing with me. So I'm thankful for him sticking with me and being with me through it all. So yeah, that's why it came to me, that song, because God knew what would happen today and what I would be speaking about and everything. So I give him all the praise, girl. I give him all the praise. That's okay, hon. Thank you so much. Thank you. I wish God protect you and your children from all bad things. You as well, Bella. God protect you and your mom and your husband, and take care. I'll see you guys next week again, same time, same place. Not sure what our topic will be on. Like I said, sometimes it comes to me earlier in the week. Sometimes it's even the day of. So thank you guys so much for all your continued support. Don't forget, if you haven't liked the stream that we're in, and if you can, share it out, and we'll talk again. Take care. Take care, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for showing up today, okay? Love you guys. Have a great evening and a great weekend. Peace.